You know the cycle. Monday, you're back on it. New plan, alarm set earlier. This is the week you finally become the person who reads their Bible. By Thursday, you've missed twice. There's that little voice going, see, you can't keep up anything with God. And by Thursday night, you're on your phone at 11 o'clock, feeling empty, already telling yourself you're going to start fresh on Monday. I have run that exact loop more times than I can count. And somewhere in it, you quietly decide that the problem is you. I'm not disciplined enough. I'm not a morning person. My life is just too full right now. I have believed every one of those things about myself, and not one of them is the reason that your quiet time keeps falling apart. The real reason is something almost no one is even aware of. And once you see it, it stops being a fight that you're going to lose every couple of weeks. So let me tell you what's actually going on, because it went on with me for years. You sit down, Bible open, coffee going, phone face down across the room like a responsible adult. You read a verse. Before you're 3 lines past it, you're gone. The email you forgot to send, the thing your kids said at breakfast, the conversation that you're dreading at 2 o'clock today. You catch yourself. You drag your eyes back to the top of the paragraph. You lose it again. Drag it back again. 10 minutes later, you close the Bible, having read every word and held on to none of them. With that little drop in your stomach that says, I'm bad at this. Now here's the part nobody's telling you. Every answer you've been handed for this points somewhere else. Get a better plan. Get up earlier. Want it more. Find a system. Get rid of your laziness. And every one of them walks right past the single thing that's actually coming apart in your chair. Your attention. It's just the plain, simple ability to hold your mind on one thing and bring it back when it wanders off. Your quiet time didn't fall apart because you're lazy or because your calendar's too full. It fell apart because the one capacity that this whole thing runs on was never built up in you in the first place. And honestly, why would our capacity for attention have been built up in the first place? We all grew up handing our attention to a screen designed and engineered to take it away and never give it back. We've trained our minds to scatter, and we reward them every single time they do. And we've all been doing it for years and years and years. And then we sit down in front of the living God and ask for that same scattered mind to go quiet and stay on God for 15 minutes, to keep our attention still and quiet on God for 15 minutes. And of course it bolts. We've never asked our attention to be still or do anything except be scattered and flee and run away. But here's the good news. And the good news is not try harder. The capacity, holding your attention on one thing and bringing it back when it drifts, can be built. It's trainable, the way strength is trainable. And there's a discipline whose entire job it is to build it. One scripture commands in the first chapter of Joshua and blesses in the very first psalm, and it's a discipline that most of us were simply never taught. It's meditation, biblical, scriptural meditation. And before that word carries you off somewhere strange, meditating, floating on a pillow, saying Om with your eyes closed and soaring through astral galaxies, let me tell you exactly what I mean by it, because it is really, truly as simple as this. When I say scriptural meditation, when I say biblical meditation, when I say Christian meditation, what I'm talking about is keeping your mind and attention fully on one thing and returning your attention to it when it inevitably gets distracted. But the thing we keep our mind on is God and His Word. And that truly is the whole discipline. If any of this ever starts to feel complicated or mystical, just come back to that one sentence. It's just keeping your mind on one thing. You can feel what that is, can't you? That's the exact capacity your quiet time has been starving for. So if you take one line out of this whole video, let it be this one. If you train your attention, staying and being quiet with God stops being a fight. Meditation is the training that sits underneath your quiet time. Your quiet time is you and God and an open Bible, reading, praying, being with Him. Meditation is how you build the attention, how you build that capacity for attention that lets you actually stay in quiet time instead of bouncing off the page after a paragraph. The same 15 minutes you were already trying to give Him, except now you can be there for Him. Hey, if you're enjoying what you're watching, I just want to say everything I'm doing here is to help you draw near to God and help meet Him in His Word. And if that's what your heart is after, please subscribe. And the method is simple enough that I'll give you the whole thing right now with a fuller walkthrough in another video. please check out my other videos. I've got a bunch of instructional stuff on this. You take a small part of the word, a verse, even a phrase, a part of a sentence. You read it slowly, out loud, again and again. And then you just stay with it. You just sit there in silence and dwell in that word. Your mind is going to wander off within seconds, and that's normal. And wandering, the moment you catch your attention and that you've noticed that it's wandered away from the word, you bring it back gently, no scolding. And you think about that as a rep. Each time that your mind wanders and you bring it back, that is a rep. Just like exercise in the gym, just like training a muscle, you wander, you return, wander or return. Each one of those is a rep. Just like a bench press, just like a squat, a deadlift. Each one of those is a rep. Every time your mind wanders and you bring it back, that's one rep. That returning 100 times over is how the muscle gets built. Don't get fixated on how scattered your attention is. Don't get fixated on failure. Get fixated on the reps that you're doing the work over and over and over. Don't think about it in terms of, oh, I just can't do this. My mind's so scattered. Think about it in terms of, I am building this strength. I'm building this muscle. I'm building this capacity. I'm building my attention like a muscle so that I can use that muscle and train it on God. Every time you return your attention to the word, your attention is getting stronger, like a muscle. And this is the part that matters most, because it's exactly where this all tends to go sideways. You're not building this to become a better Christian, the kind who never misses a morning. You're not building this to finally get your act together. You have to remember this. You're building this for God himself, to be with him, to hear him in his word, to go quiet enough that he, the Spirit, can do the only thing that he can do in a heart that's actually holding still. You build the attention. He gives the encounter. And what he gives as grace. You never earn it by showing up. You just put yourself where it's handed out. And that means the slow mornings still count. The day your mind races the whole time and you walk away sure you got nothing, that was a rep. And the reps are working whether you feel them or not. And when you miss a morning, when everything detonates because your kids are sick or, your day is just blown up, when you miss a day and it turns into a missed week and you look up and a month is gone, you just come back. The very next morning, before you've talked yourself into waiting for a better version of you to show up, and you just come back. And you start smaller if you need to, the way you'd come back to training after taking a break. The coming back is part of the discipline, because keeping a streak is never going to tell you the truest thing of all. The God that you keep coming back to has been waiting for you there the whole time. And guess what? He's not counting how many days you've missed. He doesn't care. So if you have been quietly carrying around the verdict that you're bad at this, forget it. Set it down. Give it to Christ. You were never bad at it. You were attempting something that is genuinely hard, with a capacity nobody has ever helped you build. And that capacity is sitting right there, in you, trainable, available. And it's just waiting for the next 5 minutes that you want to give to it so that you can start building that capacity, so that you can start building your attention to give it to God. So start there. Start small. You train your attention, and the staying will stop being a fight. Learn, again, how to be still and know that he is God. You didn't fail your quiet time. You just found the piece that was missing. If this puts to words something you've been carrying, do 2 things for me. Watch the how-to. It's called How to Start Meditating on Scripture. I'll put the link in the video here. That's going to walk you through the method I just sketched out with a little bit more detail and give you a little bit of a practice that you can build into your life. And then check out my website. I've got discipline guides on restoringmeditation.com. They're free, and they're going to give you the structure so that you're not inventing what you need to do at 6 a.m. You just bring your time, and the guide will carry all the structure for you. Before you go, everything I'm doing here is to help you draw near to God and meet him in his word. If that's what your heart is after, subscribe and join me. And at restoringmeditation.com, you'll find structured guides and teachings to help you build this discipline into your life. Thank you for watching, and bless you.